Henderson Jr. Show, featuring Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner and president of the Henderson Financial Group. Understanding money. It's all about the money. Understanding money. It's all about the money.
Good morning, South Florida. Hello, world. This is Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach, live in the beautiful station of 1210 The Man. 1210 The Man. The woman is not here. Hopefully she'll be calling in. That's my sister-in-law, business partner, co-host Linda V. Harris. But we do have in the studio, he's done his 14 days quarantine, and that's Professor Keith Allen. How you doing, Keith?
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
Good. Glad to see you here. Wasn't sure you was going to make it in today, but we have you here. I'm glad to see you here. We also have our videographer, Isaac here. He's here. And then we have Sean as the engineer who's going to be rolling everything out for us today. We got a great show lined up for you today. You know, this Dow Jones Industrial Average, man, I tell you, it's been really a roller coaster, and it's really impossible to really call. It's really been impossible to really call which way the market is going, and it's amazing how a lot of the talking heads, you know, a lot of people listen to CNBC. You know, they listen to advisors all around the country, the so-called pros. But let me tell you something. Last week, they were shaking their heads saying they don't understand why the market was up. They don't understand why it's up. It should be doom and gloom. Now, let me tell you something. The people that's supposed to know telling you they don't know why, that tells you a whole lot, you know, about the stock market, about cornering the market, about taking advice. Isn't that something, Keith?
No question.
I mean, Cramer, you know, Jim Cramer saying, why is the stock market up 2 days in a row? I don't know why it's up. I don't know why it's up. I'm like, if he don't know
why it's up, and he keeps telling you.
Yeah. and then he gives advice by saying, okay, we're near the bottom. We're not at the bottom. Okay, it's going to drop some more. And then it goes up, you know, today. And then it goes up another 500 points. And it goes up another 400 points the following day. Like, I don't know why it's up.
Almost $300 points just, yesterday?
Yeah. I mean.
Not yesterday, Thursday.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm somebody who doesn't really understand the market and I want to get in and I'm listening to these talking heads, it's very, very confusing. And let me tell you why it's confusing. Because nobody has the goods on the stock market. They just don't. Because it's too many people, too many different personalities, too many different goals and objectives, too many people with money. I got computer programming, the computers doing this stuff. I mean, it's a lot. So you can't just get together and say, hey, listen, we're going to short the market. We're going to bring it down. No, they don't know. Now, they'll do monkey see. If everybody's selling, then they'll say, okay, let's selling. But they don't know why or who's buying.
Or why they're selling.
Or why. And it's for personal gain. So you can't really, I always say the stock market is like an elusive woman. You can't really.
All right now.
You know, it's like an elusive woman, you know? I mean, you really, you can't tell what she gonna say, when she gonna say it, how she feeling today. You know, it's almost like, hey, how we feeling today, boss? We feeling good? If we feeling good, we good. How we doing? Is that Linda on the line? How we doing today, Linda? Are we good? Are we good? How we doing, Linda? How we doing? Are we good, boss?
We are great. How you doing? How you guys doing? Good?
Everything. He just started talking about the elusive woman,
and you called.
There you
Again?
Again.
Yeah. Call Linda. She ain't there. She don't answer the phone. Okay, she might not. Elusive. Never know. Elusive woman. Yeah. So I said that the stock market is pretty much like an elusive woman. It's very hard to figure out. You can't predict it. When it seems like it should be dropping, it's going up. When it seems like it should be going up, they drop it. When they came up with the $2 trillion stimulus package, the market crashed, went down 1,000 points, you know? And then when they come out with this bad news and they're saying that there's more, it's going to get worse, all of a sudden the stock market goes up. So you can't really time it. So don't you agree? It's pretty much like an elusive woman.
Well, it's unpredictable.
Yeah, that's a good word. Good word. Is that the word for the day?
No, that's not the word for the day. Actually, the word for the day is force majeure. Oh, I like that.
I like that.
Force majeure.
That's happening a lot these days.
It's an unexpected and it's a disruptive event that actually may give a party in a contract an excuse to get out. In other words, it's like an act of God. So is a force majeure? Put it like this: is the coronavirus considered a force majeure?
Absolutely.
Not really. It depends on, for most of us, the answer is yes. But a lot of people had been looking at, studying, and preparing for it for a long time.
Yeah. Well, a force majeure is like if something happens. Put it like this: people that paid money for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, and they might want a refund, but the Tokyo Committee, they have a clause in there that's called a force majeure, which means that they can back out. In other words, all ticket sellers to an event, they have a clause in there, believe it or not, that's saying that if it's an act of God, if it's something they can't help, they really don't have to give you a refund. That's what we call a force majeure. A lot of contracts can be voided, or you don't have to go through with it because it's a force majeure. So this whole coronavirus, especially with rent and mortgage payments, is it really a force majeure that gives you an excuse where you don't have to pay?
Well, a lot of people are trying to make claims to their insurance company. And the insurance company said it's not covered because it's a force majeure.
That's right.
You're not going to get paid for disruption of business. You're not going to get paid for anything because in the contract it says it's an act of God or force majeure. So,
We got Alex on the line right here. Alex, are you there?
I've been missing you guys a lot because I've been busy.
You've been busy.
I've been busy.
Man, how you we thought about you the other day because Alex has a massage parlor. So you've been busy. You still been giving massages, Mr. Masseuse?
I'm trying to, but nobody really wants to come because everybody's afraid. But I'm doing other things because you taught me always to have something else.
That's right, diversification.
That's right. So now people are trying to pull, I ain't got no money. I can't pay the rent. And I'm saying, you better pay because if you don't pay, as soon as those 90 days goes up that the government allows you to stay, you're going to have to pay either all the months together or, you're going to get evicted because I'm already got the eviction papers ready, locked and loaded.
Oh, man. Alex,
Alex, wait, Alex, no, don't do it like that.
Well, slow down.
Alex coming to get you. I'm gonna get you, honey. You call him when I'm gonna get you. You got the broom in hand, huh?
No, because I know they're still working, so it's like they're trying to pull a fast one on me. So I'm like, okay, just tone it down. If you want to pay half, this month, and you want to take it easy on me, So, but don't tell me, I won't be able to pay because coronavirus and all. And meanwhile, my dad, he checks out my properties for me because nobody knows who he is. Just this old black man that passes around the neighborhood. Everybody thinks he's just homeless and stuff sometimes. And they were having a barbecue in the house. Everybody's celebrating, and I'm like, okay, I got your number.
Wow, in the house?
Yeah,
barbecue?
Yeah. I'm like, you better stop those parties because this is, everybody's supposed to be social distancing. But yeah, everything's under control. I just wanted to give everybody a home remedy that's perfect for this time. When this is allergy season, plus you have this coronavirus thing going on, so nobody knows what's going on in your body. But you take a red onion, some honey, some lemon, and some garlic. You chop it up really good, or you put it in your blender, and you just wait for that water to come up, and you drink that water and a little bit of the thick stuff, and that'll keep your lungs clear. And then there's a wonderful product called Afrin that if you get all clogged up, you don't have to go to the hospital. You just put that in, and with that remedy, it'll keep your lungs clear. You won't have to go on a ventilator at the hospital because God only knows how much your hospital bill is going to be at the end.
So the red onion, the honey, and what else?
Lemon.
You take red onion, honey, lemon, and garlic, and you mash it all together. And if you want, you could just get the wasabi green paste.
Ooh, my goodness!
And you can have it on. You can have it on.
That'll clean you by itself.
Yes, you'll have it on the side, and you just take a little spoonful of that. just a tiny little bit on a spoon, just not a real big spoonful, just a little bit on a spoon, like on the tip of the spoon, a little bit of wasabi paste with some honey, and that'll keep you clear for any type of condition.
That'll keep you off of the ventilator.
Absolutely.
All right.
And,
you're not selling this, right? Because a lot of fraud.
No. And
FBI
this is my comment. Robert Henderson and the Henderson Financial Group is not responsible for my comments. From voters over here. This is just my opinion. I was just
going to say that. Absolutely.
This is my opinion. But I remember I went to a workshop, and you were saying, the market usually climbs a wall of worry. So whenever that elusive woman comes around, if everybody's panicking and hooting and hollering, it'll usually go up, and the opposite when people are very optimistic. So thank you so much for that education.
Thanks a lot, Alex.
Right.
Hey, and make sure you're listening, because we're going to have Larissa on at 8:15, and she's going to talk about the benefits or how to get these loans for small business owners. It's disaster loans, okay? So make sure you tune in. All right, Alex? Thank you, man. Much love. Say hello to Katie for us.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye-bye. Yeah, Larissa Humphrey, she's in Atlanta. She's an accountant. She's been doing this thing for like 40 years. She's also a certified tax coach, and she's going to be our guest today at 8:15. She's going to call in, and we're going to talk about getting loans for this disaster, for this whole coronavirus thing. If you're a small business owner, how you can get these disaster loans, these payroll loans. And she's going to tell you, what to watch out for, what to look for. Because, I was just reading that there's a lot of scam going on. People putting their information in, and it's scam artists that are getting your information, and you think that you're applying for these grants and loans, but really you're giving up, your personal ID and information. And it's amazing. Shame on you people out there that actually try to capitalize after, when the disasters happen. And you just have bottom fishers, Keith, human beings that just, they don't really care. They'll take advantage of the blind, the sick, the ill, the deaf, the dumb. That's their target, and they have no conscience. And I guess, I don't know, I guess they sleep good at night, but it's amazing, huh?
Well, not only that, we're still having to deal with the folks with price gouging. If somebody had on the internet was selling bottles of sanitizer for like $90.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's
still going on?
Yeah, absolutely.
My goodness. Well, Larissa's going to talk about that at 8:15. When we take our break, when we come back, we'll have her on. The Dow Jones Industrial Average finished up 285 points yesterday. 285 points. S&P 500 was up. NASDAQ was up. I'm still saying, because it's kind of hard to catch the bottom. And if you bought stock because you felt it was low a week ago and now it's lower, don't worry about it, because, this too shall pass. And if you're trying to day trade, that's going to be pretty tough. But if you're trying to actually plant a seed, for the next year, 2 years, 5 years, you should be in good shape, because I still think that, this is a good time to invest. But don't invest money that you need, to pay your overhead expenses currently. Or if you don't need this money and within a year, don't invest that money, because we really don't know that, the talking heads really, 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 really do want this market to go down a little more. And they talking about it's going to retest the lows at 18,000. They'll be satisfied if it dropped to 15,000. Right now it's 23,719. That's what the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Before all this stuff hit, we were in a 29,000 range. So they really, really, and I just say it's greed, but they're saying, hey, listen, the worst isn't over. When you read about and listen to the news, they'll say, get ready for this whole post-world, this post-coronavirus world. The economy will never be the same. What do you think, Linda, Keith? What do you think?
I don't believe that at all.
You don't?
No.
You think we're going to bounce back like a V shape?
Well, the economy, first of all, it was never, quote unquote, the economy to begin with. It's always changed. It's always been in change. It's always been in some kind of transition or transformation. So that it would never be the same is not a big thing to say. And once again, like I've always said, there's no less money available, and that's what makes up the economy. It's just traveling on different paths. So
what about you, Linda? You think that it's going to change forever? Like how when we have to take off our shoes from now on, since that guy, the bomber, doing the 9/11, he put a bomb through your shoes. I mean, you think that now, these long lines and TSA, and either you have clear or a special pass, but if you don't, you have to take off your shoes and that sort of thing. I mean, that's changed. That's changed how we go to the airport and how we travel. So now you think this coronavirus? Do you really think that less people are going to go to the theater? You think that the cruise ships are going to suffer for years to come? And what about airlines? You really think that people are going to say, no, I don't need it?
I think the economy and the way of doing business will change. I believe people now, they said necessity is the mother of invention. And so now for me at least, business is continuing because of Zoom and GoToMeeting and Google Duo, and we're actually getting things done. I think retail space, office space, I'm very afraid there. Do we really need a big office? Because we have really got 12 people on the screen, whether they're singing or having a meeting. I believe that I think it's going to change. I think you're always going to have those companies that since they laid off all those people, they're going to be slow to bring them back. They're, greedy corporate America. They're going to have people doing twice as much so they can save money. So they're going to continue working on the skeleton crew as long as they can. I think because of necessity, we figured out some things, some cost-saving measures, and we're going to stick with it. We really are going to stick with it. I think it will change.
Yeah, I think it's got to change. I mean, change is just inevitable. It's going to change. It's going to, because people are going to say, I don't need that many employees, and a lot of people say, listen, I got just my work done at home, so why not continue to do that? So it's going to definitely be a change.
I've been attending happy hours. Well, not that. I mean, I can't wait to hear those words. What can I get you to drink before your meal, Miss Harris? I'll be the first one back at a restaurant. May I get you a cocktail? However, I've been to dance parties online. I've been to, different music festivals online, the theater, arts center. I've watched concerts online. Erica Badu did a concert. She has 3 million followers. Now, she didn't charge, but imagine her charging $1, and she's at home. And so it's very interesting. We can sit down and put it on our big screen TV and watch someone live. It's interesting. I think it will change.
Well, we're getting ready to take a station break, and when we come back here, we're going to bring in Larissa Humphrey. She's in Atlanta. She's an accountant for like 40 years, and she's also a certified tax coach. And she's helping small business owners get these loans that they're eligible for. But she wants to give you some caution, make sure you do it right, and she's going to help you. Matter of fact, she's going to have a webinar today at 3 p.m. So tune in. Don't you touch that dial. We'll be right back.
You want me to release the line, Mr. Henderson?
No, you're fine. You're fine, Linda. Keith is in the studio, so you're fine.
Okay.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back after the station break. We're back. We're back live. Robert Henderson Jr., certified financial planner, certified tax coach. Joining me live here in the studio is Professor Keith Allen. He's also a consultant, financial consultant. He's also an insurance advisor. And we also have my sister-in-law, business partner, co-host Linda V. Harris. She's not in the studio, but she's somewhere safe. And let me see if we got Larissa from all the way from Atlanta. Larissa, are you there, Elle?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
Doing great. How you all doing today?
Good.
Good.
We just hanging in now, we hanging in there, and Linda was really right on that, helping, small business owners getting, these disaster relief loans. And then I told her you was coming on, and she says, good, I want to learn more about it. And you're going to be doing a webinar also. Those of you all don't know Larissa, she's been on the air from time to time. I'm a certified tax coach also, but Larissa does my personal taxes and my business taxes, and matter of fact, my family taxes. She do a lot of clients, have a lot of clients around the country, and she's very, 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 very good at the tax strategies and what they call loopholes, but they're not really loopholes. In that 73,000 page tax code, she really knows the strategies, how to help you to take advantage of the law. They're not really loopholes. They're actually law that a lot of people don't know. A lot of the rich and famous know about it. But I found Larissa in a rich and famous book in terms of why they don't pay taxes. And I don't know, that's probably been about 7, 8 years ago. But I've turned her on to other people, and they've been very happy. So Larissa, what you got going? What you got going on at 3:00 today on this webinar? Tell us about it and how we can join in and what kind of good news you're going to bring us today.
Well, the good news is the government has money available for small business owners. The bad news is many people think they've already applied for these loans, and all they've done is fill out a contact sheet. Yeah. So, because, what you do, well, first let me say that some people are going to SBA.com, and that is not the Small Business Administration's website. It should be SBA.gov. But SBA.com has some lending information and asks you fill out an application also. So many people are being fooled by that.
Wow.
So please don't let that get you.
Wow. So when Linda, when it happened, Linda, you jumped right on it, right? And you fill out the form and got going. So you saying what she's filled out initially was not correct? I mean, was not everything, or just a preliminary?
Yeah, it's just a contact form.
It was a contact. It hadn't come out yet.
Got it.
It's 100% right.
Okay, so give us the steps. Break it down on the steps that need to be taken in order to get some sort of economic relief if you're a small business owner.
Well, you do have to fill out that information at SBA.gov, but what they fail to tell you is after you fill that out, you have to take that information to the bank. The SBA doesn't have the money. They just guarantee the money through the banks, and the banks are the ones that are doling out the money.
Now, when you say to a bank, any bank, I mean, the major banks, Guido Bank, Bank of El Salvador. I mean, what
which bank I got to go to?
Which bank you got to go to? Are these certain banks like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, SunTrust? I mean, BB&T. I mean, is there Pacific banks, or can I go to the Bank of El Salvador?
Well, it depends on what day it is. Now, I'm a member of an association of accountants all across the country, and we've got people doing research for us to tell us which banks are available to give money, who's accepting applications today, who's accepting applications from only their customers, or are they accepting applications from anybody who wants to apply. So it's really just crazy because this stuff is changing every day. I personally witnessed the SBA.gov website change every day this week.
Wow.
So it's hard to keep a track of what's going on. So that's why I have this association that I can go to that we've got a list of the banks. I think we got 179 different banks, and a lot of them are not accepting any applications for that Paycheck Protection Plan right now.
Right.
They're only accepting applications for the Economic Injury Disaster Loan.
Well, how do you qualify economic injury disaster loan? I mean, and who can qualify for that? Is that only business owners or
Yeah, you have to be a business owner because your business has to be affected by the corona chaos.
But what if you selling popsicles on a corner? Are you considered, and you're not really filing your taxes? I mean, are you in business? I mean, can you get a loan? I mean, you're incorporated, but you're behind on your taxes.
You sell your popsicles.
You're selling popsicles on the corner, but you're behind on your taxes.
Popsicles are us.
Can you apply for this loan?
Well, actually, yes, you can, but you do have to have a loan package, as in what they're accepting is your 2019 bookkeeping, financial records, 2019 all the way through to March 2020, so the first quarter of 2020, that they would need all your financial records that are produced when you have your books done.
Half of the small business owners don't have they don't even keep books. You know that.
True.
True.
And that is a problem.
Right.
Well, when you're applying for a loan, you have to show what your money is doing. If you can't show that, believe me, you will not be approved. So that's why we're here to help small businesses get through this, because we can produce all of the paperwork that you need so that we make sure you get the most money you can get. So it's not just about applying, it's how much can you get. So that's what we do at Abundant Returns, is produce all the documents you need for that. Because a lot of people, your president is saying, oh, it's so easy, Well, if you've ever applied for a loan before, it's not that easy.
You're right, right. It's a lot of documents, a lot of paperwork. I mean, when people say, I just don't want to do this, it's just too much, and they're asking for so much information. They're asking for your firstborn. They want your Social Security. They want your. Do you have to have your last year tax return? What if you haven't filed your tax return yet? Because it's on extension, so they want the 2018. They want to pretty much, if you're gonna get this loan, they want to know all your business inside and out.
Right.
Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say, and you want to make sure you present the best financial picture possible.
And it'll be somebody weighing, saying, okay, nope, you get a loan, you don't get a loan, you get a loan, you get a loan, you don't get a loan, because they make it seem like, hey, everybody will get a loan, just go ahead and apply, but you have to qualify for this loan?
Yeah, it's a loan. It's not just we're giving out free money.
It's not a gift.
Now, yeah, so you do have to qualify for the loan, and if you spend that money on the right things, then it's forgivable. You don't have to pay it back. So the right things are rent, payroll, mortgage interest, and utilities. So as long as you spend it on those things, you will be safe to not have to pay it back. But you also have to present your records to show that you paid out this money in the way that they want you to pay it out and in the right time period. So there's an 8-week period after you receive it that money must go to those specific items, or you will have to pay it back.
Wow. So this is no snatch and grab. This is not no free fall. I mean, this is like, really, you got to have your financial act in order. You got to have your books in order. So Willie the lawn man who who deal a lot in cash, he need not apply.
Well, we might be able to help Willie. we can get Willie together. That is what we do, is get our clients together so they can be in the best financial position possible.
Okay.
But there is a lot to know. There is a lot to do. You do have to get all your bank statements together. You got to let us know what you spent, on all these different transactions, so we can give you the best records possible so you can get the most money you can get.
I was watching Nightline last night, and FBI was on there saying that there's a lot of scam that's going on. People think that they're applying for an SBA loan, but really, they got websites that camouflage looks like the SBA site, but and they'll respond to you once you apply. They'll respond to you, but it's not really the SBA responding to you. It's some sort of crook that's responding, has the SBA logo on there, but they're responding, asking for your bank information, your Social Security. And a lot of people are so desperate right now, they becoming victims, and they want their bank account number, their Social Security number, and all their personal information, all their business information. So, I mean, with this haste that's going on right now and people are really in need of funds, you really got to watch out, because there's a lot of scams. So how do you guard against that, Larissa, in terms of, trying to hurry up and fill out your documents, and you might be being scammed? How do you avoid that?
Well, you probably need to get some help from a professional that does this kind of thing all the time, because it's very, very easy to fall into that trap where you may be filling out the information. Let me tell you what I did. I filled it out on the SBA.gov website, which is the correct place to go. And I was contacted the very next day. A lender called me, but come to find out, he's not a bank. He wasn't a bank. He was a lender. So they do loans, but they're not a SBA preferred lender, which that's the only way you're going to get the money, and it is guaranteed by the SBA, and it can be forgivable.
Well, stop right there. Well, so if he wasn't who you was looking for, how did he run interference and intercept your information and then contact you? How was he able to do that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, your turn. I'm sorry.
Okay, because that contact form on the SBA.gov website,
Yes.
one of my friends is a banker, and he said that is just a list of people who are interested in getting loans, and many lenders have access to that list.
Oh, my goodness.
So they can contact people that have submitted that information and ask them to apply for a loan. Now, after I filled that information out, I also had two other lenders email me. So, and neither of them were SBA approved either. So I was like, whoa, what is going on here? Because that's three.
Wow. And you had, let me ask you something. So when you put your personal information on that?
Let me see. What did I put? Yes, I put information about my business. The SBA form does ask for your Social Security number and your tax ID number.
So when you fill that out, then that's wide open. In other words, you're leaving yourself open. So other entities, other lenders or whoever, scammers, have access to that list, and then they can call you and say, I'm a lender and I can help you get a loan.
Well, I don't know that they're scammers. I'm not saying that, but I'm finding out that the ones that contacted me were not SBA preferred lenders, and that's who you need to go through if you want that loan to be forgivable.
And how did you find out that they weren't actually on the SBA list?
I Googled. I looked up the name to see what was going on, and they have to have some kind of certification from the SBA. And if they have it, they're going to broadcast it as much as they can because they want everybody to know we're SBA lenders, preferred lenders. So, that gives them credibility.
Uh-huh.
So none of these that contacted me were.
Okay. So that was a sign. But you knew that. But someone who doesn't know that, what you just told us, then whoever contacted them, then they would probably just assume, an average layperson, that they were SBA lenders, because how else would they be contacting them? Because they went on the, you went on the SBA site and you're asking for help. And if someone calls you, that means you assume that they legit and they are a lender because you was on the site, of SBA. But
right.
Yeah.
That's what I assumed.
Wow.
But I thought, I never heard of them before. Let me see what they got. But what did work for me is I have two main banks that I, move money around between. And I went to both of those websites, and at that time they were saying, we're not accepting applications as of yet. And they asked me to leave my name and email address. So one of the banks sent me an email and said, okay, we're still not accepting applications, but we'll let you know. The other bank said, okay, our portal is open now. Please go in and submit your information because you are a preferred customer. We're ready to take your application. So I went in and I actually put in my driver's license, my payroll records, other information about my business. And there are a lot of requirements like, your 15 months of bookkeeping records and all that. So once I did that, now they said, okay, we have accepted your application and we will be in touch soon. So I'm waiting.
So how long do you anticipate that you're probably going to have to wait, during this situation?
That is a good question because like I said, this thing is changing every day. The beauty of being in this network of accountants is we're getting daily and hourly updates on what's going on with the banks, what the Treasury Department is saying, what the SBA is saying. So we kind of got our hands right on the pulse of, what's going on. But nobody is saying how long it takes. I have had several reports of people that have received funding. So we know that it is working. We just don't know how long the process is.
So some of your clients have received funding?
No, some of my associates' clients have received funding.
Good. Linda, has that been your experience too, since you've been online trying to get involved with this small business disaster loan, Linda?
No, that hasn't been my experience. I, as part of being a developer with Florida Housing, I've been on countless webinars, but Larissa seems to be drilling down more on with her contacts with her accountants. There's something called CDFIs, which are like banks, and that are approved to disseminate the SBA loans. And like she said initially, they just said, give us your information. Things are still unfolding. Rules are changing every day. And just recently, after giving my information, they sent, okay, we're ready now. This is the list of items you'll need, the 941s and things of that nature. I personally don't know anybody that's gotten a loan, but I'm not in it like Larissa is. I think I've inputted a couple of mine and a couple other people's information only, but I have not done the application yet. I think, Larissa, the one for entrepreneurs just came out Friday, right? The $10,000 one for sole proprietors and what have you. That's,
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of confusion on if you are a sole proprietor, would you be able to apply for the Paycheck Protection Loan? And now they're saying, yes, you can, and they're asking for, a tax form or your bookkeeping record. So that's where you need to get some professional help because you want to make sure that you're presenting the best financial picture that you can.
Absolutely.
Both of you are obviously experienced and sophisticated when it comes to matters financial. One of the things I was reading was that there are a lot of people, small business owners, who don't have established relationships with banks other than they just use them for their transactions. Is this a time when they need to go in and solidify or put some more energy into that relationship, or do they need to come to somebody like you, Lisa, first and get some of those things in order so when they go to a bank to talk about it, they've at least got something that they're presenting that they're going to need to have anyway?
Well, you definitely have to have your records together because the banks are so busy now. I had one client say they stayed on hold for an hour and a half and still didn't ever get through. Trying to contact the bank where they bank. And that's the problem. So you definitely have to have your records together or they're really not even going to talk to you. You definitely cannot qualify if you don't have your records together because it's still a loan. I mean, yeah, it's government supported supposedly, but you've got to have your records, and that's the bottom line.
I think that this continues to give bankers that reputation of sleazy bankers. Shame on them for wanting you to only have a business line of credit or have a loan with them or a credit card or an account. This is the public's money. And when they needed bailing out in 2008, we did it. We meaning Joe and Jane taxpayer. And now they're coming up with their own rules. Oh, you got to be a customer. That's first of all, that wasn't the intention. And then they start making up their own rules. And so it's shame on those banks. They need to increase the personnel and employees and get this money out there. I know the rules are unfolding daily, but shame on them for not doing all they can and putting their own requirements of, you got to be my friend, you got to be a customer, you got to have a loan. That's not what it was intended for. And shame on them for doing that. There's a special place in hell. I'm sorry, I digress.
Well, you're right though, because each bank has its own specific requirement. So you have to be ready depending on whatever it is they're asking you for with that documentation. And if you don't have it, they're going on to the next one, waiting for, your turn to come around again. Who knows how long that's going to take.
But you shouldn't have to be a customer of theirs. That's the rule that they made up. You shouldn't have to have a line of credit with them or a business loan with them. That's a rule they made up. And what do you think, Larissa?
I agree.
It's the public's money. It's the public's money. They were hired by the SBA to get it out there. But no, they want to do it to their friends and family and customers and loans.
Preferred customers.
Preferred customers. That's not what it was about. But what do you do?
That's true, Linda. I agree with you there. But there are a lot of banks that are accepting applications from people who are not their customers.
Good.
I checked that list this morning, and I saw about 40 banks that are currently accepting applications from people who are not their customers.
Yeah, I guess you just got to know where to look. I mean, and Keith, brought up a good point. That's why I've made it my business to have bankers who I know. And like you said, there's a lot of people who's just been going to, Wells Fargo or Chase or whoever, and they just been banking there for, 10, 20, 30 years, but they don't have a personal relationship with the banker. I make it my business to have a personal relationship because some of the banks, they may close at 4 o'clock, and I have to go to the bank for something, and it's 4:10. And I go and stand there, and I see, and they go, "Oh, that's Henderson." They actually open the door and let me in. Let me tell you something. And we talked about this in the past. You should have personal relationships with any and everybody that really affects your life. And I'm talking about from the dentist. I give you an example. Yesterday was Friday, right?
Good Friday.
Yeah, Good Friday. Listen, Thursday night when I got home, my main in the main part of my home, the air condition went out. Air condition went out. When I got home, Natalie and the kids, they were like, "Hey, Dad, this thing is, it's not blowing hot." I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm just getting," and it's Thursday night, and you guys telling me, and this is, Dad. I mean, we got 3 different air conditioners, right? But for the main house, it was just blowing hot air. And I said, "Oh my goodness." So what I did, went to sleep, woke up that next morning. Natalie, I don't know if that's Linda or Larissa, just pot and pan. If y'all getting ready to cook breakfast, save some for us. But anyway, can y'all mute your phone if you're not talking? Because I can't hear. It's really distracting me. Okay, so what I did was I got up Friday morning and I called Melvin. I called the air conditioning guy. I said, "Melvin, it's Good Friday. I cannot go through the weekend. I know it's coronavirus, and I know that we got to be social distancing, but I need you to come to my house. You can stay outside and help me because over the weekend, I can't have my wife and them saying that it's hot." Now, in my room, and there's a certain section of the house, that air condition good. So really, where I hang out, I'm good. But I had to, what I want for myself, I want for the next person, especially as my family members. They like to hang out in the living room, the big room, and all that. So I called him. He says, "Robert, this is Friday, Linda." Melvin said, "Robert, no problem. I'll be right over." By the time I got home, everything was cold. See that? That's personal relationship. I didn't have to call ABC Air Conditioning Service. I didn't have to do that. I have a personal relationship with a plumber. I have a personal relationship with the dentist. I have a personal relationship with a doctor. You definitely got to have a personal relationship with a mechanic. Okay? Because if your car stop in the middle of the road and you ain't got a Mr. Fix-It man, you got to be able to call Homer, John, Sally, or somebody that you personally know that'll come out on a Sunday night if you're stuck in the middle of the road, if you don't have Geico or AAA. But my point is, you have to have a personal banker. Now, if you living paycheck to paycheck and you don't have no money saved, it's pretty hard to have a personal banker. But you still can strike up a conversation so they'll know your face and your name. but you need to have something. Just can't be a figure, a body, because when you need help, let me tell you something. There is nothing more greater than having relationships. Relationships are more valuable than money. I want to say that again. I know y'all are probably saying, what? Having a relationship, oftentimes, most of the times, is more valuable than money. Why do I say that? Because if you might not have no money, but you may need to eat. You may be hungry. If you call up Sandra, John, and they got money, they got food, they say, come on over here, no problem, you can eat. But if you don't have a relationship with no one, you may need a job, but you don't know no one. But you know the guy that works in HR, he's a friend, he's a cousin, he can hook you up. Let me tell you something. Relationships are everything. Don't blow a relationship and get mad at someone because of money. Because relationships, I tell you, I've had relationships that didn't talk. I had a relationship for 20 years. And people say, why do you have a relationship with him? 20 years, next thing you know, bang, I need that guy. Because I got a relationship and he answers my phone. So, Keith, thank you for bringing that up about relationships. And you got to have a relationship with your banker.
Got to have it.
Larissa, tell us about what time and how do we tune in to your webinar at 3 p.m. And is there a cost? And how long is it going to be for?
No, it's no cost. It should be, I don't know, my presentation is about half an hour. I am open for questions, and I hope that everybody will bring their questions. It's free, and all you have to do is go to my website, abundantreturns.com, and that's www.abundantreturns.com, and there's a button there that says Corona Webinar, we can help your business survive, or something to that effect. You just click there, and it'll take you right into the webinar.
Yeah, abundance with an S. Abundance with an S, right?
Abundant returns with an S. Because you want a lot of abundant returns. That's what you want.
Okay, so not just one, but abundance, right?
An abundance, abundant returns.
Okay.
So just go click that link at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and it'll take you right into the webinar. And I will be there waiting to answer all your questions about how to get this money from the government.
And if you're trying to go to Abundance Return and you can't click on it, just Google Larissa Humphrey. It'll come
Or
up.
you could call the office, 770-451-6330.
One more time, please.
770-451-6330.
Fantastic. Larissa, we enjoyed you. Thank you very much. Tax returns, they're not doing until April 15. Boy, that's something. Has that ever happened before?
Not April.
I mean, July 15. Has that ever happened before since you've been doing
Not
taxes?
in my lifetime. I never heard of such.
Right. July 15 is the deadline for filing your taxes now. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm. But we are thinking that it's probably going to get extended all the way to October anyway.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You thinking the deadline? You think it's not? You think they're gonna change that deadline from July 15th?
Yeah, because it's still kind of strange in the world today. So we're thinking we're going to get another extension.
Yeah,
but we'll see. We'll
okay.
see.
Yeah, because our RMDs, they're waiving the RMD, required mandatory distribution. That is like if you're 70 and a half and you have to take money out this year. You don't have to take money out if you don't want to. They're waiving that. You can let your money stay. Especially, the reason why they're doing that is because the stock market is so low. So let's say if you had $10,000, then they get a percentage of your $10,000 of IRS. But now your $10,000 is down to $4,000. They really don't want a percentage of $4,000. They really want to wait till your money go back up. So it looks like the government always looks like they're doing something for you.
No.
It's always for them. All them 401k plans, all them IRA plans, all of that, the government feels like that's their money. Even though you look at your statement saying, hey, look how much money I got into my retirement. No. The government we get first dibs.
Yeah,
that's our money first.
We're getting some of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting some of that.
Yeah. So they count them $22 trillion. They don't need that money. So the government okay, y'all act like y'all making y'all think that's y'all money, but most of that money is ours because we're going to be getting it forever, the taxes on it, you know? So, yeah, and then also they have a rule that they just passed that up to $100,000, even if you under 59 and a half, you can actually take a distribution from your retirement plan during this whole pandemic coronavirus fiasco that's going on right now. So if you need money, you're like, oh man, I can't take it out because I'm gonna be penalized. No, you won't. You have up to $100,000 that you can take money out, and you can spread the taxes over 3 years. You don't have to pay it back actually over 3 years. So that's pretty good. I like that too. Okay. So Larissa, thank you very much for tuning in. I know you got up real early. I know you was on Hyacinth her show early at 6, and now you're on ours. So you're a trooper. So thanks a lot, and have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you all. Have a good one now.
We'll see you at 3. We'll see you at 3 p.m.
Cool.
All right. Cool.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Keith, Linda, we still here?
We're here.
That
we're
was
here.
good.
Yes, indeed.
That was good information, right?
Great information.
It's amazing.
As usual, Larissa is really good.
Yeah, she really is. But it's amazing how, there's a lot of people that take advantage, man, from getting all the toilet paper and then scamming you for the sanitizing stuff. I mean, buying it and then reselling it. I mean, people, man, you always have so many bottom fishes and people just trying to rip you off. I can't stand that. But, hey, we're humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And humans not perfect. All right, so this stock market, I do think that if you want to go in for the long run, I mean, the prices they're lower than they were last month. Now, are you going to get the bottom? We don't know. And the way they're talking, they really want this market to drop and go down a little more. But I don't know. Monday comes, depends on what kind of news we get over the weekend, if it's going to correct, or if it's going to go up. No one really knows. But what you have to do, you have to have a game plan. If you're going to have some money you're going to put into the market, you might not catch it at its low. But, you got to get in if you want to be in. But I want to tell you, 90% of you all shouldn't be in the stock market. And a lot of you all who are in the stock market and lost 30% of your money, you have to kind of wait until it comes back. Now, if you're getting ready to retire, then, hey, you shouldn't have been in there this close when you're getting ready to retire. If you're getting ready to retire, you shouldn't be in the stock market a whole year before you're getting ready to retire because stuff just happens. Unforeseen stuff happens. Now, if you're saying, where can you put your money? There are a lot of great places that you can put your money where you don't lose a dime. And I talk about it all the time. And I definitely have a great strategy for you all. So if you want to know more about how can you prevent this from happening again, then I want you to call the Henderson Financial Group. Call our office on Monday. And the telephone number is 305-825-1444. Again, 305 is the area code. It's 825-1444. You call us, and we will talk to you about strategy, how to diversify. Because a lot of our clients, man, have their money in places where they didn't lose a dime. And they're still getting compound interest, okay? They still making money, and they also have access to the money, all right? So don't just have all of your money. This is a great lesson. A lot of times when tragedies happen, you're supposed to be saying, okay, this is not going to happen to me again. Now, I just read a report that for people that have those TSPs, more than 50% of people that had their money in the TSPs withdrew and came out. They took their money out of the TSP in the last month. Can you believe that, London Keith?
The last month?
Yes. Because they went down 30%. So they said, okay, no, I get my money out of here. I don't know how they're supposed to regain it back. But they took it out.
Especially if you went to all cash, there's no way for you to get back.
Right. So there's a lot of them, half of them. And they had something it's a group they call TSP millionaires. They've been in there for 20 years. And they maxed it out. And they've had at least $1 million in their TSP. Now, they got 600,000, 700,000. They lost $300,000, some of them. And they peed off. So what they do is just take their money out. If you take it out, how you going to get it back? And where you going to get it back? Now, there are some strategies. If you do take it out, we can help you put it in some places that you can get, you can really help you get it back without taking a loss. Okay, it's some great strategy. I can't go over to you over the phone, on the internet, but if you call our office, 305-825-1444, I promise you we're going to tell you about some things that you didn't even know that you didn't even know that you didn't know. I want to say it again. We're going to tell you about some strategies that I promise you that you didn't even know that you didn't even know that you didn't know. That's some good stuff. Now, if you think you know it all,
well, that's a different thing.
That's a different thing.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you can know it all, right? I mean, I sure don't know how to bake bread pudding. Do you keep?
No, I really don't.
Linda, you know how to break? You know how to make bread pudding, Linda?
No, I do not.
So there's something that we don't know.
Oh, I just get smiling. He knows.
Isaac knows.
Yeah, he got a secret recipe.
Well, I don't know. I know Miss Daniel's supposed to be having some conch for the batter for us today, and she makes the best conch. Yeah, you gonna be?
Right.
Hey, I thought you were social distancing.
Not for the comforters.
Oh man, okay. We'll just ring the bell and we'll have it right out there by the door for you. Okay.
All right.
All right. So Keith, what do you got planned for the? I mean, are you getting into the market? I mean, are you taking this time to invest in the market? Or are you waiting for the bottom, Keith?
I'm leaving everything kind of like right where it is. I've moved stuff to what I consider to be a pretty safe position.
What do you think? What do you say, Linda?
Oh, buy.
Yeah.
Everything's on sale.
Yeah, buy. Especially the hotels.
Buy. Especially good companies that.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Other than this virus, they wouldn't have gone down. Buy.
Yeah.
That's me.
A lot of these restaurants that are good that's been around. I'm not talking about the mom and pop ones. I'm talking about these. I mean, these international strong ones.
Some of the chains.
Some of the chains that
right.
I mean, they the stock, the shares are really down. And then the airlines. I mean, you think that I don't think that all of them going out of business. Maybe some of them, but then also the cruisers. I think that they'll there's some industry. Now let me tell you something. Don't call our office about these penny stocks. Why do you think they call penny stocks? They value that, I mean, somebody called me yesterday saying, "Hey, Henderson, look at this stock right here called SUVZ or something," and I looked at it and it was like 12 cents. 12-cent stocks are not even regulated. That's like Pee-wee sports. That's like a 4-year-old out there playing football.
Your money just going to evaporate.
Yeah, I mean, that's the mob stuff. There's no regulation. They don't even regulate. Penny stocks. I mean, come on. I mean, anybody can say anything about that, So please don't bottom fish and buy penny stock. Buy good quality stuff. Listen, we got to get out of here. It's Saturday. It's Easter Sunday. Happy Easter to you and your loved ones and everyone. Stay inside. Stay safe. Linda, you want to leave with the last parting words?
Absolutely. Please stay safe. Keep this. Take this very, very serious. Extremely serious. Don't think we can't get it. You can't get it. Loved ones. I've personally been touched. Friends, loved ones, family. My girlfriend's father died from it. So please take it serious, ladies and gentlemen. And we hope to see you when we come out of this.
Keith?
Absolutely. Ditto. Yeah, everybody take care. Take care.
Much love to you. Be safe.